a throwing catch. He tiptoed along the end line. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Fires deep downfield. Got a man. That's Brian Thomas Jr.
50 in the Colts territory. 35, 30, 25, 10, 5. Touchdown, Brian Thomas Jr. Just went 85 yards.
He's a playmaker. That's what stands out to me. It's just not one thing. We all know he's fast. I can't really point to his releases. Can't really point to how he comes out of his routes. He just makes plays.
Looking, steps up, fires to the back of the end zone. Brian Thomas Jr. Did he double catch it? Yes, it is. Touchdown. He bobbled it, but hung on. Brian Thomas Jr. has the score, and Jacksonville is taking the lead.
Yeah, he's only going to get better once he masters his craft as far as his stance off the line, as far as come off the ball. You'll see in games to come, he'll get better, and even next year, he's going to be even that much better than he is right now. Right now, he's just getting his feet wet and showing us what he can do. So I'm looking for this guy to be a big-time playmaker for us in the years to come, and I'm glad to have him part of the Jaguars.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Jeff Lageman, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning and welcome in, everybody. Brian Thomas Jr. is still a Jacksonville Jaguar. Woo! Man, I think he's going to survive, Tony. I think he'll make it to 4 o'clock today and beyond as a Jag, but that won't be the case for everybody.
That one would qualify as a surprise.
That would be a shocker.
Unlike Chad Muma.
Is Ian Rappaport the last to get the memo about Chad Muma?
I do not know.
All right, he was surprised.
He's on the list, the short list of people that are surprised.
Hey, look, I wish Chad Muma the best in his NFL career. It didn't work out here in Jacksonville. He's going to be released, as is Daniel Thomas. Those are two of the vets we've been hearing about this morning. Good morning, Jeff Lageman.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
Any surprise for you on either of those two players not making the 53?
No, not on Chad Muma. Daniel Thomas, I thought it was going to be a real close call between him and Savage. And, I think there's two different, I guess you could say, traits that each guy have. Mm-hmm. And it appears, anyway, for the time being, that they're going to go the other route.
Yeah, I went with Savage. I didn't, we did a projection 2 weeks ago. I didn't have him on. We went yesterday, snuck him back in there. And I think Ray Lane has given them what they expected out of him. And I think that, in part, made it the maybe not easy decision to let Daniel Thomas go, but that was what facilitated that move.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that Raylon Lane has, an opportunity to be a high-level special teams player. I mean, high level. So I think that's good, but I'm sure the special teams coaches are sitting there going, man, we could have had two really good
Could have, right? They want everything, right? And I get it, you know?
Yeah, but, that's the thing. I mean, that's the battle. I mean, the battle that you face is that, you've got different people that are pulling for different guys because, special teams coach, he wants maybe Daniel Thomas because, the reality is, and I'm guessing here, because Savage is not a great special teams player, but Daniel Thomas is a really good special teams player, and I think a very capable safety. Now, we can debate it all up and down about, which guy, was worthy of being kept. But Savage does have some versatility, plays nickel, plays safety, and I think coaches on the defensive side of the ball maybe won that argument, if that, in fact, was an argument.
Yeah, and looking, Tony, at our projections yesterday, I think this could indicate that Caleb Ransaw will not have to go on short-term IR, right? Because if you look at the safety room logs, I think obviously you got Murray, you got Dewey, Antonio Johnson, Ray Lane, Savage. There's 5, and obviously they'll keep Ransaw. They drafted him very highly. Yeah. So it's a question of do they roll with those 5 at the start of the season, or do they think he is good to go and going to be able to contribute like in a shorter time frame than IR would hold him out?
Yeah, and I think that they can keep the extra number for safety because you have a corner situation that's not exactly brimming with talent, so to speak. I think once you get past the obvious guys, I think, the rest of the guys who could be, practice squad possibilities for the Jaguars. So I think I don't want to say it's a luxury, but it gives you the ability to keep maybe more safeties than you normally would.
Yeah, and then plus, with Fred Johnson being shipped away, it looks like they're going to go 9 offensive linemen instead of 10, right?
Well, maybe not.
Who do you think is the possible Sal Wormley? Who's the
Wormley played his rear end off in that game, and he's been playing well all preseason. So do I think that he's a lock? No. But, I mean, if there was a guy that they were nervous about maybe losing, it might be him. Now, I was surprised. I thought Fred Johnson was going to be here. I thought he had some incredible blocks. I think the one thing that really hurts Fred and has hurt him everywhere that he's ever been is just the consistency. I mean, he looks like just an absolute killer on one play, and then the next play it's like he just took the play off. I mean, he's got those moments.
It's interesting, too, because Philly obviously took him back, right? And they know I'm assuming they know what you're getting in him because he played for them, and he started a handful of games for him last year as well. So better to get something for a guy who's not part of your plan than nothing.
I think it's great that they got a draft pick for him. And, the other thing, too, is Philadelphia probably values him a little bit more than maybe this organization because, the Philadelphia Eagles have a standard with that offensive line room. And you're trying to establish a standard down here. So I think that they would get more out of a Fred Johnson up in Philly as opposed to maybe us getting whatever.
That's interesting. That's a little disappointing. Like, hey, if you're coming from a place with such a high standard, why don't you help instill that here, right? And be consistent, rep in, rep out.
That's in a perfect world that's exactly what happened. But, there's a reason why I think Fred Johnson has bounced around so much in his career. I mean, what is this? If you count the teams that he's been at twice, Philadelphia, I think he's been around to like 5 or 6 different teams. So the consistency, I think, has always been a factor with him and dependability.
We'll get into a bunch of position conversations today. If they didn't keep 10 on the offensive line, it's not Sal Wormley. Does Tremaine Ankrum do anything for you?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I don't think Jerome Carvin, I couldn't pull him out of a lineup here, and Ricky Lee, I haven't been impressed by. So I think those are the only options there if they're going to go the 10 route. I still think 9 is my what I'm sticking with.
Could be, but Wormley's a guy though. Again, I'm going to mention his name just because this past game he played against starters and he played well.
No,
played the whole game. He's been consistent.
Can he do multiple spots though, or is he just a guard?
Well, he's never snapped as far as I know. But they had him at center, if you'll think back, before in the preseason. And I think he snapped in the New Orleans game. And he did a pretty good job, and he's done it in practice. So, I think that that's something that he could eventually be prepared for or trained for is to play center as well. And he's a young guy. He's got a lot of starts under his belt at Penn State. So, there's a lot of history to kind of go back on and look at him and say, hey, look, what's he going to be? Is he going to be consistent? He's been wildly consistent at Penn State, and he did have a very good preseason. And look, offensive linemen are, and I don't know exactly what is. I'm looking at it now, 6'3", 327 is where they list him at.
Yeah.
You got a
That's a big boy.
That's a big boy. And if you got a big boy that's playing well on film, it's kind of hard to hide that.
That'd be interesting if they go that route to see where they pull another one from. We'll go through a bunch of these different permutations with Jeff Lageman today. Official cutdowns are due at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We'll continue to get word leaked out, I'm sure, on certain players. But Daniel Thomas and Chad Muma look like they will not be back with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Logs. Go ahead.
Let me just add kind of this into the Wormley conversation, is that if you look at that group, the offensive line group, and you kind of break them into positions, right? You could count Wyatt Milam as a tackle, right?
Could.
Okay. So if he's a tackle, then who are your interior guys?
It's still Milam and either a Doga or a McCary.
Sure.
Whatever you count him at, know that he can do both.
Right. And I'm just saying is that from the mindset of that, if you're trying to kind of come up with a roster formulation, you're trying to get some depth at every position, guards and tackles and center. And here's a guy that also could give you depth in the interior at center and then guards. And then, with Wyatt Milam having the ability to play tackle, which he played at West by God, Virginia at left end. Now he's shown that he's playing some right, so, maybe that's in the mindset there. I don't know. We'll see. For what is it, 4 o'clock today?
4 o'clock.
We're going to find out.
No doubt. All right. Good morning, young Denmark.
What's up, Mike?
Who you got this week?
Palataka.
What's the spread? What's the odds?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't really mean I'm betting on high school football. I just mean give me the tail of the tape. Like how do you match up?
Palaka has 2 insanely fast guys. They ran track. One kid ran 10,600. Another kid ran a 55-second 400 hurdle. So that's it's pretty fast. That's good enough to be top 10.
Keep them in front of you this week.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep the genie in the bottle.
All right. That's what we'll try to do. If you want to get in today with Jeff Lageman on a Check the Tape Tuesday, how about the Checkmate Coatings phone lines? That makes sense at 641-1010. Same number for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Hop in the YouTube virtual studio. You can chat away in there. You can stream us on Twitter and Facebook or hit us up on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at Logs56, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
All right, we are ready to go. Cut down day is upon us. The season is rapidly approaching. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. From the huddle to the perfect spiral.
We invite you into the lab so that you can truly learn the quarterback position.
The quarterback whisperer. He shares his insights Friday mornings on The Drill. Ramped up by George Moore Chevrolet and Tyson Sound and Security on 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carlion, here from a driver who made the smart move to buying a vehicle from Atlantic Infinity.
Hayes, this is my second Infinity, so I knew exactly what I wanted. And Atlantic Infinity made it so easy for me. The GM Dwayne had my new ride ready to go, and I was in and out of the dealership in about 30 minutes. The Atlantic Infinity Promise just sealed the deal for me. It's $2,500 in added value, including roadside assistance. I am so happy with my new car.
Atlantic Infinity, Atlantic, near St. John's Bluff.
Jaguars Today Tuesday.
Protected by Julington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Fish know where to hide. Captain Kevin knows how to find them.
That's a big one.
Listen for the Wing Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
These are the last days for Monahan Jewelers store-wide 40 to 50% off sale. These are the biggest savings we could possibly offer, with everything on display discounted 40 to 50% off, ending Saturday, August 30th. We've bought so much brand new jewelry, we need to make room for it, and the only way to do that is to give you huge deals at 40 to 50% off everything. And the sale ends this Saturday, August 30th. Diamond jewelry, colored gemstones, gold chains, everything. Everything on display is 40 to 50% off at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Hacker here. You know, those of you that have listened to me for years realize that I used to do a lot of different weight loss things, a lot of different things that I tried that just never worked for one reason or the other. And then Awaken 180 Weight Loss came along, and I heard Mike Dempsey and Matt Hayes talking about it, and I thought, you know what the heck? What do I have to lose? I'm going to give it a try. I had low expectations, to be honest, based on previous history, but I learned very quickly that Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the best weight loss program I was ever on. I dropped 19 18 pounds my first 2 weeks on Awaken 180 weight loss. Went on to lose over 100 pounds total. I'm keeping the weight off with the Awaken 180 weight loss maintenance program. Awaken 180 weight loss, without a shadow of a doubt, is the best weight loss program I have ever been on, and the results speak for themselves. If it's time for you to lose some weight like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. You can do it. Awaken 180 weight loss.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, superiorfenceandrail.com.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jeff Lageman Tuesday
is brought to you by
Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
All right, Loggy. Start a non-on-the-field question for you here.
All right.
Okay? Ed wants to know, has there been or was there any discussion about somebody else joining the broadcast booth to replace Baselli? Or you guys has the plan always been you and Frank just rolling with the two-man booth? That's all. They just want to know.
I think that there was conversations about maybe changing things up, but I think in the end, the powers that be made the call that Frank, me, and then Bucky on the sideline. And the great thing is that with Tony out, you know, the sideline now guy can have more of a contribution.
I was going to say, with Tony out, everyone can have a few extra words.
I can tell you this, man, the last preseason game, man, I would have loved to have had Tony back in that booth for that. I mean, it's just, you know, it's the last preseason game, and you know, you're kind of fighting through some of it. I mean, It's an entertaining game, and don't get me wrong, it's still football, and you're still kind of into it, and you're evaluating the guys on the field. But at some point, you're just like, you know, it just doesn't matter. You know?
All right, corporate speak, Jeff. We all know what you're talking about, all right? And I get it.
Put it this way. There was a lot of people probably in Jacksonville that turned the TV off in the second half, and I didn't have that ability.
Hey, you know, that's all of us, right? But we're through it, and that's part of the deal. It's just what it is. It's a step in the process.
I was hoping they would win.
Well,
you know.
we sit there. We haven't had the phone set up for the post-game show because, you know, there's a lot of pardon our dust type stuff moving, right? Like we moved our main control room from the stadium over to the Miller Electric Center. Not that this matters to anybody else, but JP and I are sitting there like, yeah, I wonder how many phone calls we would have been getting it Saturday night at the end of the third preseason game. I don't think we missed out on too many.
But it was a good week. I mean, the Jaguars got good work in with the Miami Dolphins, which was a big part of that whole trip.
Yeah.
And I think next year, from talking to Liam and Tony Baselli and James Gladstone, they want more of that. And they had something set up that was going to be more with the Atlanta Falcons in the second preseason game, and then the league switched games on them. You know, they were originally thinking that they would be going to Atlanta and they would have an opportunity to get a couple days of practice in with the Falcons, and then, you know, the last week going down to Miami and getting one day in there, but just didn't work out that way. So next year, I think there will be more of that in store.
We know, given the nature of the third preseason game, the Jags don't play any of their guys, right? So whatever eval was going on with those guys was going to be in the practice on Thursday. When they were on the field against Miami, you were there. What did you kind of take away from watching those two teams go head-to-head?
I thought it was a good physical practice, a little limited as far as snaps go. You know, typically in a practice like that with another team, you're going to have anywhere between 40 to 45 snaps, maybe a little bit more for your starters and backups. And then, the game becomes more of a showing for the third and fourth teamers. And it was a little limited on the reps. I think the starters probably got in the range of 20 team reps, which is not quite as many as you would normally expect. It was definitely a little confrontational, with 3 little scuffles going on into the practice. I didn't think the quarterback had a very good day, Trevor, at all in that practice. So he's got to obviously take some steps for this football team, and it's a new offense and everything else. But it was good work. I mean, when you get work like that, you can learn from it and grow from it. And fortunately, he's getting those reps in that setting, and now it's an opportunity where now everybody's going to see where you're at.
Let's go, man.
Yeah. It sounded like the offensive line wasn't all that great on Thursday either.
Wasn't great. I mean, but I will tell you this, a couple of throws that Trevor had in that practice were just, not great. And, there was some pressure on them. But, in a practice like that, you're in the red jersey. They're not going to hit you.
Yeah.
So you got to make those throws. And he wasn't able to make a couple throws that were there. But all good. I mean, he's been looking pretty good. And you can tell that he's still got some room to grow in this offense of Liam Cohen's. And, the great thing the thing that I really like is that, and this is going to be kind of the concentration of a couple videos I'll be doing this week for Jaguars broadcasting purposes, whether it's TV or social media or whatever, is that the head coach really believes in being a physical team and finishing and running the ball. And you've got a stable of running backs that I think are as good as you've had in a long time here. And you can lean on them a lot. And, when you lean on that running game, just like the Buccaneers were able to do last year, man, it makes a quarterback's job a lot easier.
All right, presuming no one blows the Jags away with a trade offer by 4 o'clock, and all 4 of the top tailbacks on the depth chart make the 53, Liam Cohen said it's going to be tough to have 4 guys up on game day. Who doesn't get the jersey? Logs.
I think it could change week to week, Mike.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it could be game plan dependent. It could be health, who's healthy completely. Because, you got 4 good backs. Now, the 2 guys that I think that are, everybody brings something different to the table. Etienne's got great hands, excellent third down back, but he's not as good of a runner as Bigsby or Tootin, in my opinion. The other third down back is the rookie LaQuinn Allen Jr., and he's that third down type, receiver out of the backfield, special teams contributor, really physical mindset and pass protection, really good there.
Is he the best pass protector from what you've seen?
Yeah, by far.
Okay.
Yeah, out of this group, he's the best guy in pass protection that there is, and I think he's elevated the room. When James always uses this term about elevating the room by being you, well, I think LaQuinn Allen Jr. elevated that room in pass protection just because he came in and he was doing so well. Everybody else was like, if I want to get me some play time, I've got to match that guy's abilities in pass protection. So, and then Bashal Tootin, I think, is arguably the most well-rounded of all of them. And, Bigsby is the bigger, more powerful back than all of them. So, but, I mean, the argument could be made that Bashal Tootin maybe has more power, than Tank Bigsby. But it's going to be a good problem to have. And I'm sure that there's fantasy guys all over going, man, which one would I take? Who's going to be the guy? And I just think that it's going to be a by-committee approach until somebody gets hot. And when somebody gets hot, they're going to stay in.
All right. If you want to get in with Jeff Lageman, you can be the hot caller right now at 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines and get your question in with Jeff Lageman. We're going to go through some of the key hot spots on this team, particularly that 5th wide receiver spot I want to get into in this hour. But let's go out to the phone lines for the first time this morning, guys, and welcome Steve in Melbourne on Check the Tape Tuesday. Steve, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing this morning?
Very well, thank you.
I got a question for Jeff. I know at the edge rusher, Agba was with camp. He's a veteran, and I haven't been at camp at all, but in the preseason games, your guy B.J. Green and Danny Strigow have seemed to play better, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think that that this is kind of an interesting conversation, to have because, Agba's got a lot of history to be able to look back on and to say, okay, where is he at? What can he give us once he's in the regular season? And also you're talking about a double-digit guy, in his 10th year with Agba. And so, how how intense is he in practice? How intense is he in the preseason games? And is he a guy that might be saving it up more for game day? Because the reality is that the defensive coordinator's got a lot of background with him in Miami, So I think that goes a long way. If you were completely from another planet and there is no history and you came in and said, okay, this is my 3 guys, I can only keep 2 of them, you might make the argument that Agba wouldn't be the guy. But when you look at his body and his length, you go,
and his experience.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're from another planet and you don't know that
I
he's
understand.
experienced, I think that would be a difficult decision to make. But it's an interesting question, and I think it's a great observation, and it's something that's going to be interesting to watch.
What is if you had to say right now?
I think they keep Agba and Strigal, and then B.J. Green might go to practice squad. But, the whole point of kind of shaping the roster is to keep all of your guys, whether it's on practice squad or the active roster. In a perfect world, you like to keep all 3 of them. In a perfect world, you like to put maybe 1 or 2 of the young guys on the practice squad and then have 1 guy up. But the question is can you do that? And what's the way you accomplish keeping all of them? Is it releasing the veteran and then he agrees not to sign anywhere else because he's going to be a free agent and he can choose not to go anywhere else?
Right.
Can you make a little handshake deal with him and say, hey, man, we're going to bring you back, but don't go anywhere, but we're going to bring you back?
Some guys you can, but then you still risk, somebody coming in and saying, we'll throw an extra $1 million on top of the pile.
That's the hard part.
And that's, that handshake deal is not enforceable at this level,
Totally. But I mean, that could only, because a lot of times you're trying to get guys to IR, so if you have a veteran, like that's happened with the Jaguars and other teams before, where they've got a veteran guy, handshake deal, we're going to let you go, but we're going to bring you right back.
How much does body type play into this? I mean, B.J. Green's a shorter, they're different body types, right? I mean, Strigo's more of a tall guy.
Not much more than B.J. Green.
What is he listed
He's
at?
like a 6'2", 6'3" guy, and B.J. Green's a 6'1".
He's 6'1".
And B.J. is actually bigger than Strigal. Strigal's a 255 guy. B.J. Green's a 270 guy. So, look, I like both of them. I thought Strigal's a really good effort player. Plays hard every down, and his effort actually gets him home. Whereas B.J. Green's got a lot of twitch.
6'4".
Say he's twitchy.
For Strigo.
Yeah.
That's what he's listed at.
Man, it might be 6'3.5".
Well,
I think that might be
6'1" might be 6 foot, too.
It might be.
B.J. Green.
It might be. But they each offer something, and you'd like to have them both, and to let them develop and continue to get better. The one thing that I love about both of those young guys, their contributions and attitude on special teams is full go. And I think that's a real positive with each guy.
Denmark, what are you sending me here because it's not popping up?
Jaquindon Jackson, running back, has been released.
Okay.
From the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, he'll come back on practice squad if you can get him there. I like him.
Yeah, I agree or disagree just in terms of obviously he is going to be let go, hopefully brought back on the practice squad. I think he's like, if Tank Bigsby were not on this team, could Jaquindon Jackson fill the Bigsby role?
Yeah, the big back role.
Big back,
maybe.
Right? Between I mean, I'm not saying they're a carbon copy of each other, but I think what he brings is a lot of what Bigsby brings to the team.
Yeah, I think in some ways, I think the interesting part is about him is one is that he wasn't a running back for very long. Frank actually kind of looked back on his background, and Jaquindon Jackson was a former quarterback, and then moved around the college game, and then eventually settled in as a running back. And so when you got a guy like that, you would think that the upside, there's a lot of upside because of the fairly limited time that he's had at the running back position. And there's another one like that. It's Branson Combs, the linebacker. He was a wide receiver at Southern Illinois until like his second year there, and then they moved him to linebacker. And so he's only been at linebacker, I think, for 4 or 5 years now. And so 2 guys that made position changes that probably have a lot of room for growth and upside compared to others.
Hold that thought. We'll come back. We'll talk about Branson Combs in that linebacker room. For those of you on the line, we'll get to your calls right out of the break. Coming up right now, 641-1010 to get in on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. This is a Check the Tape Tuesday on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs or maybe a logoed Sick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Jaguars Today Tuesday.
Inspected by Shillington Creek Pest Control. Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and new head coach Liam Cohen take the field for the first time during the 2025 NFL regular season. Secure your seats for when the Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a slip and slide gone wrong? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Attention men and women. If you'd like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jeff Lageman Tuesday is serviced by Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
All right, Check the Tape Tuesday rolls on 641-1010 if you want to get in on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines with a specific question, concern, observation for Jeff Lageman and the crew here. Logs up. I do want to get to wide receiver 5. We got a long time to stretch out in front of us here, but let's talk linebacker first, okay?
Sure.
Devin Lloyd, Ventrell Miller. What's the situation here? Do you think Miller earn the right to start ahead of Lloyd? And if that happens, does Lloyd make the 53?
That's a great question. I mean, if it were me, I would lean towards starting Ventrell.
Mm-hmm. Why? Just out of curiosity, like, what's your rationale for it?
He's downhill. He's always a downhill player. He's physical, probably a little bit more dependable when it comes to assignment, alignment, responsibilities. Is he as athletically talented as Devin Lloyd? Probably not.
Does his injury history factor in? Does it scare you a little bit?
Well, I think that's always in your mind when you're making a decision on, does a guy, is he going to be the guy on the roster?
Mm-hmm.
But he's been healthy ever since he had that Achilles, and for the most part, has showed no signs of any issues with it whatsoever, and hasn't missed any time because of it. So, give him a lot of credit for that recovery too, because that's not an easy one to come back from, and he's been fantastic.
All right, so does it come down to, like, if Lloyd makes the team, does that mean Branson Combs doesn't make the team, or is that the path for Branson Combs to possibly make it if Lloyd is a somewhat of a surprise
Could be the path. Could be the path. I would say that if Devin Lloyd doesn't make the team, I think then Branson Combs is probably going to be a lock.
Okay.
Good on special teams. Showed great effort, and again, a lot of upside because of the position switch that he had fairly recently. He's an older rookie too. He's 25, just like Jack Kaiser. Jack Kaiser's gonna be 25, I think, like September 10th. You're in that kind of era right now too, where you get some guys that are coming in that are older rookies because of COVID.
Yeah.
Where they get the extra year for COVID, and then you add a redshirt year, and all of a sudden guys spend 6 years in college.
Wormley's a 24-year-old rookie.
Yeah.
So there's another one.
Yeah.
All right, right now, if you had to get, which side of the 50-50 line are you on with Devin Lloyd? On the team, off the team?
I think it's a coin flip. I really do.
You're on the line.
Yeah, I'm on the line.
You're on the fence.
I am. And here's the interesting thing. I mean, did he dress out for the game?
Yeah, didn't play, but so did Ventrell. So did Savage, right? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what to think of that.
So did Dewey, right?
I think it's going to be an interesting watch. And I think with Dewey was dressed out because they needed to have an emergency backup safety because Daniel Thomas did not play in the game because he was not there. He had a personal excuse that had to go to a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And so he wasn't there. So they needed to have somebody that could.
Well, you could say the same, though, for Lloyd and Ventrell. I mean, they were active, but
emergency only guys.
Right. Just break glass if you need them. All right. Well, how about this? Gardeck. If I'm not mistaken, I thought I heard you say on the broadcast, Gardeck asked to play in this game?
Yes.
Okay. Because he felt like he needed
one of the reps. And,
yeah.
He's coming back from an injury and hasn't had any real reps yet. So he wanted to get some real reps prior to the opener. He's coming back from a knee and wanted to have the reps, and I'm glad he did. I mean, heck, if you're coming back from a significant injury, the more real action that you can get, I think the more comfortable you're going to be on opening day. So credit to him.
Is he your opening day starting Sam linebacker?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah,
and
he's their guy.
What about Yasir? Does he make
That's
it?
a great question. I think that's another interesting watch. Just like the Ventrell, Devin Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen with Yasir Abdullah? Because Yasir, first of all, I give him credit for how he's made the change. Because remember when he was brought in, he was an edge player and very undersized edge player. Didn't work out. They move him to linebacker. He reshapes his body. And they move him to Sam, and he's been pretty good at Sam, and he's fast as all get out. I mean, I'm talking the guy can fly. Some say that he's in the 4.4 range as a linebacker, which is wow. So on special teams, there's a lot of value there. But do you have a roster spot for a backup Sam? That's the question because he's an only Sam guy. If he were a guy that played Sam, Mike, and Will, he would be a lock. But he hasn't shown the ability to learn all of the different positions. He is one position guy, strong special teamer, but then you have a better player, what they perceive as a better player in Gardeck.
But are they going to risk Gardeck on like he's been a good special teamer in his career, but at his age and with his injury history, are they going to utilize him like that?
Absolutely.
They will.
I mean, the modern day Sam linebacking position is Sam linebacker / special teams.
Yeah, because you only play like a third of the time.
Yeah, I mean, if that, because now the league is a 3 wide set, or 4 wides, and the Sam doesn't even see the field a lot.
So what's the final? Like, what's a Jalen McLeod situation?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the question is that he's got an injury. He hasn't played. We haven't really seen anything that I could grade or evaluate. I don't know what the injury situation is.
I think he's headed to IR in one form or another.
Could be.
Might be short term, might be lost season.
In a perfect world, that's where you'd like to put him.
Yeah.
Just because you haven't seen anything out of him. And you've got, two other guys that are playing, I think, his position. Now, he's also a go-forward guy like Yasir and like Gardeck, Sam / edge rusher. And he's got probably a little more pass rush ability than Yasir. But yeah, I mean, you want to keep him in some way, shape, or form.
How many total linebackers do you think make
6?
53? Yeah, that's what we had. I think, Tony, we agreed. And we had Foye and Kaiser, obviously. We both had Ventrell. We had Gardeck. We both had Lloyd. And we both had Yasir making it with McLeod going and Branson Combs dependent on the Devin Lloyd decision, which is, I mean, we don't know. We don't know what decision they're going to make, but just trying to read the tea leaves.
I think that's going to be a really interesting watch when it comes to that position. And, Branson Combs has done a pretty good job, and he's played a lot in the preseason. Now, he didn't play quite as much in this past game, and that might have been one of those things. It's not playing quite as much, so we don't put a whole lot of film on him out there. So there was a lot more film of a Chad Muma.
Right.
And then Kaiser out there. And to be honest with you, I mean, I think Kaiser's just been okay.
But he's got a little bit of that draft pick.
Yeah, I think you're willing to give your picks, a little bit of benefit of the doubt. And the reality is, too, is that he's pretty fast.
Had a sack this week.
Yeah, had a sack. And then he's pretty fast, and then he's good in space. Now, the part that I don't think that he really excels in is when things get loud. And what I mean by that, when things get loud, is that when he's around a lot of the big guys in traffic and having to take on offensive linemen, I don't think that that's where he shines. I think he shines more in space.
He needs to be covered up.
Yeah,
He needs Colin Saunders to play his butt off.
Yeah, which is which right now with the defensive tackle situation that the Jaguars have, that's if he were having to play, it probably wouldn't be a very good situation for him.
We can get to that as well. Let's come back though. Let's talk about that 5th and possibly 6th wide receiver spot and who the candidates are and who you think might have the edge based on the makeup of the room. Jeff Lageman's here. It's a Check the Tape Tuesday. Your call is always welcome on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines at 641-1010 with Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark. I'm Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Start the season with a college football storm. The Hurricanes and Fighting Irish. Tradition, talent, and touchdowns. Miami, Notre Dame. Sunday night at 7:30 on Jacksonville's college football station, 1010XL.
Denny Thompson here. Look, don't get left in the dark. We're all trying to reason with hurricane season, so at least be prepared. For top-of-the-line generators in Jacksonville, I turn to Tyson. Licensed pros at Tyson deliver reliable, whole-home standby generators and provide fast repair service. They even do custom installations for local businesses, so don't wait. Ensure seamless installation and peace of mind. Call Tyson now, 904-762-1000 for a free estimate on generator services. TysonInc.com.
Jaguars Today Tuesday, kept pest-free by Julington Creek Pest Control.
At Performance Painting, we've spent decades protecting commercial properties with durable, long-lasting coatings. And we can bring the same expertise when painting the exterior of your home. With industry-leading materials and a proven process, we extend the life of your home, reducing maintenance costs and preserving its value. Now, for a limited time, save $500 when you hire us to paint your home's exterior. Just mention 1010XL. Go to performancepainting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. If you missed it, get it on demand.
And you send those out on the line.
Find your 1010XL favorites where you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com. Channel 5, Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Jacksonville, Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coatings, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light, or a Natty, or an Ultra, maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers, or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, got a minute?
Always. What's on your mind?
This time of year, my air conditioner is running non-stop. Hot all day, hot all night. It has to run constantly just to keep up.
Well, that's what they do.
But if something happens to it in the middle of a 2-week heat wave, I'm in trouble, Jason. I can't wait 3 days or 2 days or even the next day for service. If you can't get someone here today, I'm sweating by tonight. What if it breaks, Jason?
You call me, pal. That's what we do. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
But you're probably swamped with calls from everyone else's AC that ran nonstop and then broke in a heat wave, so they called you because that's what you do.
But we always have room for an emergency. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we have techs standing by because we know these things happen.
So I don't need to worry. Wow. That time you calmed me down without even using the sunglasses.
Oh, I was reaching for them.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Football season is back, baby. Hicken here, and I know I'm excited to get back to watching some ball over the weekend. But with the fun comes responsibility. Taking care of your skin while outside, extremely important. We know it feels like 100 out there, and that sun is blazing. Make sure you bring the screen while loading up all that tailgate. It's simple. Protect your skin. It's the Sunshine State. To help you protect your skin, Beaches Dermatology is here. I've been going to them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Book your appointment today at beachesdermatology.com.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
I-9 Sports is geared up for fun for kids all over the First Coast with fall and winter registration open right now. Kids ages 3 to 17 get in the gym or on the field with I-9 Sports, covering Clay, Duval, and St. John's. And I-9 has all-girls flag football at Oakley, UNF, Fletcher, and Creekside. Plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast to take advantage of. Don't miss out. Registration open now for fall and winter at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
Go to the green every Saturday morning.
Happy learned how to putt.
And get golf tips and talk to help make your golf game more fun on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL. 1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jeff Lageman Tuesday is serviced by Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
Hey, appreciate everybody hitting up the text line with different notes that they're seeing about Jaguar pending releases, because we can't see them all in real time, right? So very helpful, and it'd be great if you include a source, but I was able to find this one. Cameron Silman Craig, who is a rookie safety out of Colorado, according to Aaron Wilson, the Jags are expected to release him. So add that to Jaquin Jackson. We've heard about Daniel Thomas, Chad Muma this morning, and word starting to filter out some of these guys being told, I'm sure, that what their fate is going to be. And, you know, their agents, I'm sure, want that out there. Hey, if you had any interest in this guy, be ready to go.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, coming up.
It's always a tough day, you know, I mean, because, you know, a lot of guys gave it a lot, you know, to make your squad, and you made some friends, you know, in the locker room, and then all of a sudden the shocking part of the cuts are that you go from such a crowded locker room to you're looking around going,
yeah,
wait a minute, where'd everybody go? And then once the practice squad gets filled, then it kind of feels a little bit more normal again. But geez, it's a tough day. We always had, like, there was always a couple guys that were like the designated, what we call them, the Turks, you know, because they were the one that, you know, with the hood and then the sickle, you know, that walked down, hey, bring your notebook or your
Is that where
playbook.
that came from? Like that's what the Turk was? The guy with the sickle?
I guess. I mean, is that what those things are called, as a Turk?
I didn't think so, but
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
They used to call him a Turk. Why would they call
no, it's still called a Turk.
Yeah.
The phrase been around forever. I don't
wonder why. I don't know why. I just know that. But we would always
they came to get you.
Joke around that it was that dude with the hood and the sickle coming down, and he always comes down and he says, "Hey, Jeff, get your playbook. Coach wants to see you." You know, it's like, oh no.
Let's see. Why is the NFL cut guy called the Turk? The Turk is a traditional term in the NFL for the person who informs the player they're being cut. So named because the practice was to wake them up at night, making the news easier to stomach while still groggy. The term originated in the 50s with LA Rams coach Clark Shaughnessy and his linebacker Don Paul, who reportedly coined the nickname for the duty of delivering this distasteful message. This still doesn't really explain why it's
Turk.
called the Turk, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, you wake him up in the middle of the night. What does that have to do with the Turk? But whatever. So that's what they're called. Logs, fifth wide receiver. All right, first let me start with this question that we got for you on Check the Tape Tuesday from Solbert on Twitter. How real is the possibility of us having 4 wide receivers on the field at the same time with how well Parker Washington has played both last year and this preseason? So how would you feel about some 4 wide receiver sets on this team?
I'm all for it. I mean, I think there will be packages that you have 4 wide receiver sets. I mean, it's just all teams have it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would definitely put the Jaguars offense in a favorable matchup situation because of the depth that you have at wide receiver. I mean, so why wouldn't you do that? So I would expect them to do that. Now, the health of your wide receiver group will have a lot to do with that as far as how much you would use that. And also who is going to be that 5th wide receiver in the event that you have one guy that may be nicked up and is going to be down that particular week. Would you even have that package? So I think a lot of NFL teams are reluctant to have a very extensive 4 wide receiver package just because of the availability issue that may crop up with that.
All right, if it's you constructing this team, who's the 5th wide? Who are you keeping?
I'm probably looking elsewhere for it.
Okay, but for today, because you're going to keep a 5th, right? And then you're going to see what's out there. Like if you're stuck choosing one of the guys currently on the roster.
Oh, that's a great question.
Trammell, Irwin, Brayboy, Pancol.
I mean, here's the question, though, is that what role is that 5th wide receiver? Traditionally, it's the special teams role.
Right.
You know, and out of all the guys that you have on that roster, Brayboy is the guy that's probably got the size and the speed, but he's not a very polished product. Didn't have a great game against Miami. He had lots of opportunity and didn't think capture the opportunity very well. I mean, I would probably choose him though, just because it's pure special teams. But
right.
If I'm leaning towards another direction, I mean, it could be end up being Trammell or Trent Irwin.
I could see both of those guys being let go and then signed back to the practice squad.
I don't think they're going to get picked up.
Right. I don't think that, and I almost feel like Tone, the way they did the captains on Saturday was like a nod to, we appreciate your service, and
maybe
here's a chance to hire. Like I don't expect Tyler Lacey to make it, and I don't know. I mean, Austin Trammell. If it's Austin Trammell versus Irwin head to head, I'm kind of come around. It's probably It's probably a toss up. You could go either way, but Trammell's had a better preseason, I think, in the games to some
more
small
consistent
degree, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Trent Irwin. I keep calling him Tyler Irwin.
Irwin's got a little bit more size, even though it's not a whole lot.
He's a little
more.
taller.
Yeah.
He's narrow, though. He did have a 4-catch game earlier in the preseason. So you think whomever it is should be, probably a short-term situation until they find out what's available out there.
I think it's definitely I think they're gonna look elsewhere for it. And if not, if you end up choosing to stick with what you got, I mean, is Brayboy an option compared to Trammell or I don't know.
Opening day, Logs, what's your guess? How many receivers on the 53? 5 or 6?
5.
And that includes Hunter, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we shall see. They did go out, they did apparently show some interest in Devon Bailey, who got traded from Denver to New Orleans, everyone's talking about they're at least seeking a big-bodied wide receiver, like a red zone weapon type guy. But Bailey's not a special teamer, hasn't been a special teamer. So it's interesting that they would be potentially looking at bringing in a guy who's strictly a wide receiver, at least has been to this point. So maybe they would, had they gone down that road, maybe they would have brought him in and also kept a Brayboy type or found a Brayboy type.
I think also there's a realistic possibility that maybe you don't get that special teams role so much from the wide receiver number 5 guy.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep talking about this running back room that's pretty good, and we're just assuming that they can only have 3 active on game day. Well, why not 4? I mean, if one of those guys can...
Well, because Liam himself said it's going to be hard to get 4 active on game day.
It's going to be hard, but it's possible.
Sure,
so
it's possible.
I think that's also something that got to be considered.
All right, well, let's take a time out here. We're halfway home. We got plenty more to dig into and circle back to. If you want to get in, 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Checking the collective tape from the preseason with Jeff Lageman's opinions on where some of these roster cuts may go. The deadline just over 5 hours away, and we'll have some clarity. And we'll begin the march forward with the Jacksonville Jaguars 2025 edition. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. Warming up for the real thing.
Comedy, sir.
Comedy?
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
No, this is not comedy.
Start your mornings with a drill.
Comedy is fun. It's antics, hysterical type things.
On 1010XL.
Josie for Hard Rock Bet, and I know you've been waiting for this. College football is back with massive matchups to kick off the season in style. The only thing better than hearing your favorite school's fight song is the sound of cha-ching. Hard Rock Bet makes it easy to place your bets so you can feel like the big man on campus. Download the Hard Rock Bet app or log on hardrock.bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Jacksonville is my hometown, and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 26, 1990, Bo Jackson hit his 4th consecutive home run, tying an MLB record.
Deion Sanders going back to the wall, and it is gone. Bo Jackson over.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Clean and Freaks at Zero Res. Great time of the year to get your house Zero Resified. And right now, you can get your entire home clean from Jacksonville's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Plus, they're throwing in a free hallway and take $100 off the air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here for Big Chief Tire. Right now, you can get 6-month financing through the CFNA credit card and $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. It's a smart way to handle big vehicle needs like new tires, brakes, or repairs without the upfront cost. With no interest for 6 months, there's never been a better time to schedule. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband and wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Maxed out on credit cards? Struggling with high-interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer.
Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys Locksmith Service.
Kuhn Flowers announces their home holiday decorating team is now taking orders for the holiday season. This is RJ with 1010XL. No more hassling with tree buying, untangling, and hanging burned out lights. Call on Kuhn Flowers. They do it all.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Kuhn Flowers. The Jacksonville Jaguars have announced that they are releasing running back Jaquindon Jackson. They've also released Chad Muma and Daniel Thomas, who's been on the team since 2020. The Jacksonville Jaguars need to complete their roster by 4 p.m. today. Right now, it is 82 degrees at 11 o'clock. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Jeff Lageman Tuesday
is brought to you by
Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
All right, as we kick off hour number 2, it's a Check the Tape Tuesday with Jeff Lageman in studio, wrapping up the preseason, looking ahead to roster cutdowns. Jeff on the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. With all of our one-score losses, almost all of our losses, as somebody put it, do you, Jeff, think that the Jags have improved enough to flip those one-score losses and win the AFC South, or at least challenge in the AFC South? I think we've improved enough to change the tides. Just need good coaching decisions now. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think they should absolutely compete for a division title in a division that is not strong. I mean, it's, to me, you go back a couple years ago and they were, I think, the best in the division, and then Houston all of a sudden showed up and things got a little bit different. But yeah, I think they've improved the roster. I think overall, I think the coaching staff is going to be a big question mark. I love the edge that Liam Cohen has, but again, the reality is that you have first-time head coach, first-time defensive coordinator, first-time offensive coordinator, and I love what they're doing. But there are going to be some growth throughout the year, and you hope that at the end of the year that they have grown, and then also the players have grown and the team has grown as well to be in a position to compete for that division title, because I think it's there for the taking.
Yeah, I think the big question, or among the questions with Houston, is the offensive line, right? It's been it was terrible last year. Mm-hmm. It has not been getting great reviews. Talked with John McClain a couple weeks ago on Sirius XM, and he was like, man, he goes, none of this may matter, because they're on C.J. Stroud like as soon as the ball snapped. Yeah. And now, granted, they're going up against a pretty good set of pass rushers in practice, but Ariante Ursary, the rookie second-round pick, they say has played well enough now. They're talking about Cam Robinson, who they gave like $10 million guaranteed to on a $12 million deal, may be available for a bag of circus peanuts.
Ooh.
That's not a direct quote, but that's the feeling that. Yeah. You know how it is. Once the word gets out that someone may be available for trade,
they are,
and leading up, especially leading up to cut down, and you're just trying to squeeze a draft pick out of somebody rather than let them go.
Yeah, that's kind of the biggest issue I think with Texans is their offensive line. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've got their skill position is, I think, strong.
Although no Joe Mixon, at least for the
few games.
First game against the Jags, right?
Yeah, for a few games.
He had a really good year last year.
Their wide receiver group is pretty strong.
We'll see. They're relying on a lot of rookies. I mean, Nico's very good, and I think Christian Kirk's going to be busy this year because if the protection is what it is or isn't what it needs to be, then there's going to be a lot of quick, release. Check down, safety valve.
Which is perfect for Kirk.
Exactly. No, he'll be good, but we don't know. I mean, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel are rookies. They may do very well, or they may take a while to come along.
And I think along the lines of the question, the issue with the football team last year was, we say it in football parlance, they didn't know how to win, right? Like, that's kind of the way we talk about it. Well, the way you learn how to win is to win. And so from that perspective, we don't know if the new guys, all the new coaches, the new front office, we don't know if they know how to win, like as a collective group in the NFL. I think we all have a sense that they're going to be better at it than they were last year because they can't be any worse, basically, at that kind of thing than they were last year. With all the opportunities they had, they just never came through. So I don't expect them to be any worse. I think there is something to it where they're counting on us being in that many games that are that competitive again. Right? Like, and you have to earn those kind of opportunities to win those kind of games. I think they're going to be better at doing that kind of thing, Jeff, but I won't know until I see what it actually looks like on the field.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of unknowns. I mean, there's a lot of players that you just don't know about yet. You think you know because you've got a little bit of stuff to evaluate from the preseason, but how everything kind of falls into place, the health of the team, the health of the quarterback, the performance of the quarterback, which you guys both know that's a critical factor.
Oh, yeah. Number
and
one.
Do they win the games that were close from last year?
The offensive line has to help facilitate that, but Trevor Lawrence's performance is the most important litmus test they have.
I think the offensive line, when they played, when you look at Pittsburgh and New Orleans and you evaluate them, I thought that they've been outstanding.
Good.
Now Miami, and they didn't play, and then in practice, they got some good players in Miami on the edge, and also Sealer in the middle, who is just tremendous player. They obviously did very well in practice. The Miami Dolphins defensive line did against the Jaguars offensive line, but in the game so far, the Jaguars offensive line, I think, has been one of the really bright spots of preseason.
All right, we'll go a little deeper into the offensive line as the hour goes along. I want to ask, because several people have asked about this, and there's an obvious connection. Like the Jags brought in Nick Mullins, in part, I'm sure, because he was worked with Grant Udinski. He's been around. He's played in the NFL. He's not going to panic if he has to go in a game. There's some physical issues. He doesn't have a big arm. He can't drive the ball into tight windows, right? Kyle Trask is being released, and obviously Liam Cohen had him in Tampa. I'm speculation, but do you think the Jags are going to show interest there?
I think there would probably be at least a conversation, because what you said about Mullen and that, he doesn't have that big arm. I think the whole design of the quarterback room for the offseason was to surround Trevor, and they kind of said as much, surround Trevor with people that knew the system and to help Trevor along. Well, at some point, Trevor's got to be a big boy and handle the system on his own, and then you go and search for the best backup quarterback that you can get.
Well, you would think Kyle Trask would know the system, right?
Sure.
And he played under Liam Cohen.
And I think that's why that there's probably been a conversation about that. Now, will they do anything with that? I don't know. I mean, you kind of already have Mullen trained in the system, and the quarterback room has a comfort level of communication with the backup, the starter, and the level of support there. Do you disrupt that rhythm at this point for a backup, which doesn't really matter, who it is?
It doesn't matter until it matters, though.
Exactly.
It may not, you hope it doesn't matter.
You're up the creek either way. I think.
Trevor's missed enough time that if look, you go back to 2023, they could have won a couple of games with the backup quarterback. Then team would have been back-to-back division champs, but
could have been.
Didn't go that way.
No.
So that'll be one to watch. I mean, that's one. It's impossible to know, I think, and I don't think Trask has done anything much to distinguish himself in the NFL, but.
And maybe they trust Mullen more.
Maybe they do. Or maybe Liam Cohen's sitting there going, you know what? I saw something in this guy, and if we got the opportunity, he'd fit right in.
Or he could be saying that I saw enough of that guy to know that he's not a very good backup.
Absolutely be that, too, right? Like, because you hear that all the time during the draft process. Well, they know this guy because he was on this staff. Yeah, they do. They know that guy. So maybe that's exactly why they're not going to draft that guy.
Maybe it's not the positive part that they're talking about.
All right, let's do it. Let's take a time out here. We'll come back. Let's get into the offensive line room a little bit more. We talked about it early on, but just go through some of the permutations, including the likely starter at right guard. Jeff Lageman's here with us. We're checking the tape as we always do every Tuesday with roster cutdowns due now under 5 hours from now. The official list going out shortly after 4 o'clock, but you'll hear news leaking on all these throughout the day. Daniel Thomas, Chad Muma, Cameron Silman Craig. Who else am I forgetting, Tony? There was a fourth one this morning that we found out was Trey Prince was yesterday. There was another one this morning. Anyway, we'll catch back up on that and keep our eye out for any more leaks that come out in that capacity. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Jeff Lageman, and Dylan Denmark. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. What could Jacksonville do better? Find out from one of our best ever as David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony on Jaguars Today. Monday from 10 to noon. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
At Keon Atlantic, the savings are back in session. You'll just need to follow these simple rules to make the most of your back to school. Step 1, switch out your car for an upgrade. Step 2, drive a new Kia starting at $20K. Step 3, make no payments for a whole 90 days. Hurry in to start back to school in a big way. Online at KeonAtlantic.com. Keon Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection. For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
It's a Jaguars Today Tuesday, sparked by Shillington Creek Pest Control.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Coliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit Bowdeneye.com for a free screening. Bowden Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
XL Prime Time is back where they belong.
Wait a minute, I know where that is.
Lunch is on Josie, Matt Hayes, and Leon.
You could lay a little barbecue on us?
From the big #1 Duval Ford Studios.
But somebody else is going to have to cook it.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Frank Franzi here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports memories. Remember Morton Anderson missing a chip shot field goal that launched the Jags into the playoffs in 1996? You know who doesn't miss? Coyle & Sons Fencing. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821. That's 904-356-4821. Or visit CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E, Jacks.com. Coyle & Sons, keeping your business and home safe for nearly a century.
As a contractor, finding reliable subcontractors is key to project success. Prosser here. Guys, that's where Lloyd's Heating and Air shines. Not just your mechanical HVAC expert, but your partner, understanding every facet of construction to keep your project on track. Lloyd's will spot issues early before they cause delays. If you're a contractor with a need for reliability, visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
Football season is here, so I've got to get organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers, wherever that clutter has taken over. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off this month only. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, they may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
I'm Frank Franzi, and you've heard me tell you how much success my daughter Amber is having with the Awaken 180 weight loss program. But Amber, maybe it's time you should tell them.
I think they'd rather hear from you, Dad. You're the radio guy.
Yeah, but in this case, you're the one doing all the work.
But that's the thing, Dad. It doesn't feel like work. The food is great. I never feel hungry. My coach, Mary, is so good, so encouraging. If you follow the plan, Awaken 180 really works.
Well, everyone I know that's tried it has said the same thing. The result is people not only look better, but they feel better. I've kind of known you your whole life, and I can tell you feel great.
I feel better than I have in years. I love that part. I feel so good. I have Awaken 180 to thank for that.
So you heard it from my kid, and you can feel great too. Just call 1-844-346-1800. That's 1-844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
and start your transformation today.
XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jeff Lageman Tuesday is serviced by Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
A lot of happenings going on in the National Football League right now as various news coming out as teams jockey to get guys onto IR, do this, do that, create roster spots, make some last-minute trades, so a lot of low-level stuff. The player I couldn't think of prior to the break, Jaquindon Jackson, the other one who the Jags have decided to let go. That word has gotten out on. But, Tony, why don't you take a moment and catch us up with what's going on with all the other teams in the NFL?
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Houston is placing running back Joe Mixon on the active non-football injury list, which will cause him to miss at least the first 4 games of the season, which would include Houston's trip here to Jacksonville in Week 3. Tennessee is placing running back Tyjae Spears on injured reserve due to a high ankle sprain, which will keep him out for at least the first 4 weeks of the regular season. Indianapolis is trading a 6th-round pick next year to Minnesota for defensive back Mekhi Blackman. Cleveland is trading quarterback Kenny Pickett to the Las Vegas Raiders for a 5th-round pick. Cincinnati defensive end Trey Hendrickson has gotten his 1-year contract reworked and will get $30 million this season, up from $16 that he was scheduled to make this year. Miami running back Jalen Wright is not expected to be available for Week 1 of the regular season. Dolphins kicker Jason Sanders will miss several weeks with an undisclosed injury, but it isn't season-threatening, according to head coach Mike McDaniel. Arizona head coach Jonathan Gannon said that the status for their first-round pick defensive lineman Walter Nolan is still undecided. He's currently on the team's PUP list and would have to miss the first 4 weeks of the season if he's not activated off that list by 4 p.m. this afternoon. Left tackle Tyler Guyton and quarterback Trevon Diggs were both able to practice for the Dallas Cowboys on Monday. Michael Parsons was not seen at the practice facility yesterday as his hold-in continues. Contract talks between the Las Vegas Raiders and wide receiver Jacoby Myers have stalled, and Myers has requested to be traded. The Raiders have signed wide receiver Amari Cooper to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, good luck with that, Jacoby. I mean, here's the he knows he has no leverage, right?
Right.
And
he's scheduled to make, I think, like $10 million this year.
10.6. Think about that. De'Ami Brown's going to make 10.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers been a really good player. Yeah. Like, he's caught a ton of balls in the NFL, and he's making 10.6 this year. So he is underpaid, I think, based on, what he has produced, Logs, but has played in all the preseason games, hasn't missed any practices. It doesn't look like he may want to be traded. I don't think he has a path to that happening. Because
him and Mike are kind of in the same boat.
Yeah, well, Micah, though, I think there would be teams that would pay the freight on Micah. They'd give up something big and pay him the big contract. Are you going to pay for a 29-year-old receiver who's in the last year of his deal who wants a new deal? So what's it worth if you only do a short-term rental and you're going to have the same issues of him wanting a new contract that Vegas?
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same. Kind of the same. You would, you still, even with Micah, you're on a 1-year deal, and you got to try to work out something out in the future if you were to trade for him. So, somewhat similar, but the reality is that it's all about leverage, in this league, and if you don't have leverage, then you can't do anything about it.
That's life, isn't it?
Trey Hendrickson, essentially. The only leverage he had, and the leverage that some of these players have, is to withhold their services. But other than that, that's really about it.
But Hendrickson did get $14 million that he wasn't going to have, right? So he got something. Terry McLaurin may not have gotten everything he wanted, but he did get a new deal, right? And he's going to make more money. So, I know Prisco's always on they're all going to show up and play. Well, they all are showing up when they're getting paid. So I feel like all these players right now are getting a financial win at least.
It's been the offseason of threaten, and eventually the team kind of folds a little bit. Like Myles Garrett was like, I'm not playing. I want to go to a Super Bowl contender. I love you, Cleveland.
Here's $40 million.
I'm gone. Here, we'll make you the highest paid. You know what? I love Cleveland. Never wanted to leave. It's just the money talks.
All right, this one on the text line. I cannot verify. This is just a text out of the wild. Okay, take it for what it is. Fun fact. Not sure why, but Tom Brady's in town at White Oak Preserve in Hilliard, of all places. He just walked past me. Pretty big fella. LOL.
Ain't no way he's in Hilliard. Ain't no way.
In White Oak, didn't they have a really nice golf setup out there?
White Oak Plantation is a privately owned by the owner of the Dodgers. Used to be kind of open to the public.
Wasn't it like, didn't they have like animals out there or something?
They've got
like a preserve, right?
A buddy of mine is one of their managers, and they've got exotics. They have a golf course. They have outdoor opportunities. I mean, it's from what I hear, and I've never seen it, I've heard it's an amazing place.
So you'd be doubting Hilliard there, West Side. What are we doing here, Dylan Denmark? Come on. So I don't know. Or maybe, he's coming in to challenge Nick Mullins for that backup job to Trevor. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know he was a part owner of the Raiders, all right? And maybe he's going to take Aiden O'Connell's spot.
Well, I mean, the Raiders were looking for a backup. And they traded for one. They just should have had Tom Brady.
They could have, right? Just step on down.
Yeah.
Tom, do your thing. But he's not going to back up Geno, man. He's like, Geno, excuse me. I'm coming in here to get it done. All right, let's
I wonder if he could do that. I mean, does Tampa still own his rights? If Tom Brady decided to come back and play for the Raiders, could he?
I don't know.
Because of his contractual obligations. Is there anything left with the Bucs?
Yeah, I'm sure there probably was. Well, I'd say I'm sure. I don't know what the I would think that he retired and might have still been like under their umbrella. Might have had a year left on his deal. I don't know. I don't think any of us actually think Tom Brady is really going to do this at any point ever. Do you?
No, because he would have to be doing the whole training regime and everything that he normally does. He's not one of these
too busy hanging out in Hilliard
kind of guys. You know?
Shout out Tom. What's up, Tommy? All right, Logs, let's go through this offensive line a little bit deeper here. Walker Little, has he done enough, or is the writing on the wall? He'll be your opening day left tackle.
Yeah, he's going to be the left tackle, I believe. I think at some point in the future, though, I mean, don't hold your breath, but I mean, I think Anton Harrison could be an option at left tackle.
How do you think? You said the offensive line has been very good.
Yeah.
In the preseason. How has Walker Little specifically looked?
He's been solid. I think overall, I think the starting lineup is pretty much, there right now.
Who's the right guard?
McCary.
Okay.
He's the best. He's the best option there at right guard, and Edoga is a solid guy. I thought the last time he played, he didn't have a great game. McCary's the guy, though. He's more steady. He's more physical. He's got more length. The reality is that Milam, is going to be, I think, in the equation at some point this year, too.
At guard. There, at right guard.
I don't know. Might be right tackle.
Well, that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah. Could be tackle, could be guard. I think he is, I think he's arguably one of the best five.
If you,
but he's hurt.
Let's say Wyatt Milam right now was not hurt. He was healthy, and you wanted to play him at right tackle. Is Anton Harrison, in the Jaguars' mind, a better option at left tackle today than Walker Little?
He's a better left tackle, in my opinion, than Walker Little.
Do you think the Jags agree with that?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah, because, it would seem like if you're the better left tackle, that's always been the premium position. It's still the blind side for a right-handed quarterback, that if they felt like he was the better option there, maybe they just feel like the combination of Little and Harrison at left and right, respectively, is better than the combination of Harrison and anybody else they could play at right at the moment.
Yeah, I think that this could have already been done. The question is that with Anton Harrison, remember, rookie year, solid, was banged up, had to have shoulder surgery at the end of the year. Last year took a step back. So there's that trust factor. Do you trust him to take over for the left side and to handle that? I don't know. That's a great question. But a guy that has consistency, there's more level of trust. There hasn't been that consistency with him. But I will say this about him. He's had the best camp by far that he's ever had. Wildly consistent in the games, finishing blocks like he's never done. And I don't know if that's just the mindset with Liam Cohen. I think that has a lot to do with that, but also the mindset in that room is created by the culture that also is a big part of the offensive line coach. And so Sean Sarrett, who's the offensive line coach, I think he's done a really good job there. And I think also the head coach with his edginess, I think, also has put the everybody on notice that we're finishing and we're running the ball. And if you can't get on board, we're going to find somebody else.
Does the trade of Fred Johnson indicate to you that they think Cole Van Lanen's close to returning?
Yeah, I think that that he would be not far away. And then, again, with that right tackle option with Wyatt Milam being a potential option there as well, also gives you, I think, a little bit of security there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting because we don't know. Milam has been, listed as week to week, and Cole Van Lanen basically out for the preseason, right? And, well, you can look at it, the preseason's over now, and I would think they've got to have at least one of those guys ready to go for Carolina, right? Because otherwise you just have Monheim and Adoga that we know or we're very confident will be on the roster. I mean, they could, as we talked about, keep one more.
Well, and Adoga could be that right tackle option. I mean, he doesn't have the length. You don't want to have him out there all the time. But for, in a pinch as a backup, okay.
Right, but you don't want to go into a game with only 7 active O-line.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they've got to have Milam or Van Lanen ready to contribute on game day.
Well, the league allows you the 8th active offensive lineman now. As long as it's an offensive lineman, you can have 54.
But you still have to have him healthy enough to be that guy.
Right. Monheim's going to be active on.
Oh, I know Monheim will.
He's going to be
Monheim
there.
and Adoga will be.
And then Adoga will be one.
But Adoga's been banged up, too.
Yeah, but I think he's okay. I don't think it was anything serious with him.
Same with Anton?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
Anton was practicing Thursday, full speed, so no problem.
What as we ran through Sal Wormley and Tremaine Ankrum, didn't even mention Javon Foster. Went right by him earlier.
I don't think he makes it. I think he's a practice squad possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it for him.
Another lost bulky draft.
Yeah, I don't think he's I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, he's a left tackle, which left tackles you're always going to have a little bit more patience with. But the reality is, what level of patience? Is it an active roster spot for him? No. Is it going to be a practice squad spot for him? Possibly. He's got some length. He's got some starts. But I mean, when you watch the film on him, you're just like, eh.
All right, still only 25. He's 6'5", 313. I mean, he's got prototypical size. Played in the SEC. You're wondering why.
I didn't think he deserved to make the roster last year.
I understand. You had that 4th round pick, protection.
Yeah, and to me, if you were,
it's tough to cut a 4th rounder as a rookie.
Again, looking from afar and didn't know any of the background on it last year, you would have said, yeah, put him on practice squad.
Right, but we all know how that works. GM, and that's not just bulky. GMs don't want to look immediately like, man, you blew a 4th round pick.
No, but again, I mean, I talked about this a little bit last week, and I remember Bill Polian having a conversation with him, and I think I brought this up in our broadcast. He said that because I asked him, what has been one of the secrets of your success? And I asked it in a different way, but he said, look, he goes, as a general manager and you're building a franchise, he said, the sooner that you admit that you made a mistake, the better off that you're going to be. Because if you don't admit that you made a mistake, or the chances are that you did make a mistake, then the more mistakes that you continue to make, and it compounds the situation and makes it worse. And he says, you got to be able to just accept the fact that acquiring talent through the draft is a percentages game, and you're not going to be right 100%. And as we know, in the last couple of years, the general manager, I think Balky, kind of treated as if he was 100% all the time.
Sorry. hadn't seen this. And it was just topical. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Jeremy Fowler, Jags releasing Javon Foster, 4th round pick. This was 6 minutes ago. So thank you to the couple of people who put that in front. I mean, we didn't expect he was going to make it, but we hadn't mentioned him when we basically ran through the entire offensive line group in hour number 1.
And it is something I brought up from time to time when the Gladstone glow has been here, obviously through the postseason, and everyone gets all pumped up whenever he lets go of another of these bulky acquisitions. And they're like, finally, they're turning the page. It's like, guys, we don't know. Like, the crucible for all this is going to be when it's his guy that he brought in and said this is the right direction, and it's obvious that it's not. And how quickly is he willing to move off that move? That's the test. Not Trent Baalke was wrong. I was wrong. And we don't know what that looks like for Gladstone yet.
No.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that he's going to be realistic and have that. I mean, the one thing about James, having spent a little bit of time around him, is that he's an incredibly smart guy.
Yeah.
And I've heard him say that he also, because about making the decisions of the roster, he said, the one thing that I consider myself is an information gatherer. And he said, and what that tells me is that he doesn't think that he's got all the answers. Because if you have somebody as the general manager that thinks they have all the answers, I think then you're not going to be in a very good situation. So I respect that about James. He doesn't think that he knows it all.
All right, we'll come back more with Jeff Lageman straight ahead. We got today's 10-10 take and some of your specific questions that you've submitted for Jeff on this Check the Tape Tuesday coming up next on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for my friends at Dandy Foods. You know they're locally owned and operated by the Thompson family, good Jacksonville family since way back in 1956. Generations of the Thompsons have worked for Dandy and continue to this very day. I've talked about Dandy's excellent products for over a decade now. I personally enjoyed them for over 30 years. Dandy's the perfect go-to when you're in a hurry and you don't want the hassle of a long wait. Whether it's a hearty Italian footlong, maybe a delicious chicken salad sandwich, you can't go wrong. And Dandy right now has party platters they'll deliver to your house. Go to dandyfoods.com to check out those options. And no matter what, you're always going to get a great value compared to the drive-thru. Fast, fresh, always tasty, and waiting for you in the cold case at convenience stores all over Duval. Matter of fact, next time you're on the west side, stop in at the Kickstart Food Mart located at Commonwealth Avenue and 295. Dandy, folks, that's the name to know in Jacksonville. When you're hungry, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy and do it today.
Jaguars Today.
You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. We haul construction debris or property cleanouts for managers, owners, and realtors. We do it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
It's Jaguars Today, Tuesday.
Protected by Shillington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Frank Frangie here. Experience professional grade at Nimnick Buick GMC, home of the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% APR financing. Yes, 0%. You can't find deals like this anywhere else in Jacksonville. So shop 24/7 online at NimnickBuickGMC.com or at the showroom on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic, semaglutide injection 0.5 milligrams.
Brooks here for Terminix. As temperatures warm up around us, ants come out in droves. And when they move into your home or business, it's unnerving. Terminix knows that ants add up fast, but Terminix subtracts them faster because living with ants isn't any fun. When ants show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with an ant problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
Looking for your new favorite hangout this football season? Try Voodoo Brewing Company in the heart of San Marco. Locally owned and community-focused, Voodoo Brewing serves up award-winning beers, scratch-made upscale pub fare, and laid-back vibes where everyone's welcome. For live music, trivia nights, and all the football action this season, make Voodoo Brewing Company Jacksonville your new favorite spot on San Marco Square.
Football is a game of inches, and at Front Runners Tap House, every inch counts. Catch every big play on their massive 396-inch giant television. The ultimate game day experience is waiting for you at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jeff Lageman Tuesday
is brought to you by
Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
Tony, you know I like to run things militantly when it comes to our fantasy football leagues. I want everybody to accept their invite. Just don't give me any headaches. And I am happy to report that there's only one left that has not. And his name rhymes with John Ogier. So, come on, Ogier. Let's go. Everybody else is in. Everyone's in. We're locked in. We're ready to draft next week. And there you have it. So there will not be, Ogier will eventually get around to it. There will not be any open spots. Not a gathering, just an electronic gathering.
Well, let me just give you a little advice.
Okay.
Offer something free for Johnny to go ahead and acknowledge to be there, and he'll be there.
The league is free. The league, the chance to play with Tony Smith, and that's priceless, really.
Johnny's got a motto: free as me.
Who doesn't? Let's be honest, right? Who doesn't like something free, right? Half my wardrobe, Tony. Go through my closet, and
No doubt,
you know that's just the way it goes.
I didn't buy this shirt.
There you go. Case in point. All right, let's get to today's 10-10 take.
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
I like to cop out as often as possible, so it's great on Tuesdays. I can put the 10-10 take on logs and pass along the question of the day to him. This one from our man Bush Drive Rich Logs, and it's a good one. Which position group do you, now that we're basically getting down to the end of it, the latest one, Jordan Jefferson, we just found out
So
going
both
to be
of last year's fourth-round picks gone.
Excellent job, Trent. So which position group do you have the biggest amount of concern with?
Like
right
still
now?
or going to the beginning of camp?
No, well, both. Who did you have? Who was it at the beginning of camp for you?
I think at the beginning of the camp, the offensive line, just because of the importance of it, and that you had to get back to being physical, and it was a group that needed to improve vastly, and I think they did.
Okay.
So
I feel better about them.
I feel better about them at the conclusion of camp, and I feel really good about their depth and flexibility. On the other side of the ball, I think there's a still concern with the linebacking group a little bit, and I think there's still a level of concern with the defensive backs. And look, that was the worst part of the football team last year was the back end. And the number of mistakes and explosive plays that they allowed last year was just horrendous. And there's still kind of this unsettled atmosphere with that back end a little bit. And then also still a little bit of an unsettled atmosphere, at least from what we've seen, of the Travis Hunter's involvement. So how is that going to look? How is that going to be managed? Who are going to be the two starters in the back end? Is it going to be a rotational thing? So, I feel good about Jordan Lewis and his addition, but, how does that Travis Hunter rotation impact everybody, and how is that safety group?
Are we paying enough attention to the time that Travis Hunter is missing? I know we're saying, it's not a big deal. It's not going to be a long-term injury, and that may be the case, but he's still missing valuable reps. As a guy that he's got more on his plate than basically anybody, and he's not out there able to take part in practice, or hasn't been recently.
Yeah, I'm not overly concerned about that. I get the feeling that it's very minor, and it was precautionary, and they held out the veterans anyway. Travis was working in the individual period and everything in the practice on Thursday, and then when they went to team, he just kind of went off to the side and was doing conditioning, stayed with his guys, though, was in the uniform of the day, and continued to do his thing and exercises when given the opportunity. So I feel good about where he is. But, I think it's going to be interesting to see how you handle the playbook, how you handle his rotation, because the reality is at the end of the day, it's not about, making Travis Hunter a two-way player. It's about making the best performance and the best offensive and defensive units that you can have out there on the field. And look, I agree that he's a premium athlete, and then standalone, he's one of the best corners, and standalone, he's one of the best wide receivers. But you just got to make sure that you can have your whole playbook on both sides of the ball if he's going to be involved as a two-way player. And I'm not saying that I'm hesitant about it. It's just that it's never been done in the modern era. And I'm just kind of sitting there going, how are they going to do this? How is it going to be handled? Can he handle the volume of information to still perform at a high level? And I think that makes this one of the most interesting watches in the National Football League right out of the gate.
Have you seen enough from Travis Hunter this time with Jacksonville since he's been here that if he is healthy, like if you declared him 100% tomorrow physically, is he the choice over Jarian Jones to open the season when you're a nickel as the other outside corner, assuming Lewis is your slot guy?
Yes, but here's the one thing that I will say is that there are moments when you know that Travis knows exactly what he's doing, and he's elite. And there are moments in practice, and then there's been moments in the games to where there's just that little bit of hesitation, and it makes him not elite. And it doesn't make him bad, but it just doesn't keep him at that high level. So I think, yes, he's the corner. And the one thing I think that you got to realize, too, is that as a coach, when I brought up that point, is that it's not about having Travis be a two-way player. It's about winning. If he plays on offense, are you limited in any way, shape, or form based upon how much information he can handle being a two-way player? Because the last thing in the world that you want to be is predictable as an offense. Same thing as a defense. Are you limited in packages that you can do because maybe the playbook is limited for him? You hope that there's no limitations whatsoever, that he can handle all of the information without any issues whatsoever. But, you hear some of these guys that played the game at a high level and are, the Devontae Adams and all those guys. And I don't think they're hating on Travis Hunter. I think that they're just having a hard time understanding how you're kind of split focus on two different positions and to do those at a high level, because those guys think that it takes all of their attention and detail to commit to one to be at a high level. And I think it's going to be interesting to see if he can accomplish that.
Yeah, I don't think they're specifically hating on Travis Hunter, but I do think there is a sentiment like, wait a minute, this guy can come in here and be this good on both sides, does that diminish what we do to some degree? And it has, like, if he can play, let's say, peak Travis Hunter, year 3, he's a top 5 receiver, he's a top 5 corner. What does that say? Like, what if he's able to do that? What excuse does anybody have who's only playing one side of the ball to not be better than they are? I just wonder if that's like kind of rattling around in the back of their minds, even subconsciously, when they make these comments.
If he can do both of them at that level, Mike, wow.
Oh, exactly. Right. And I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying that would be peak Travis Hunter, that you're rolling the dice and you hope you get something heading in that direction.
It's going to be exciting to watch, that's for sure.
All right, we'll take a time out here. We'll come back, keeping our eye out for more roster information on your Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll recap the ones that we've learned about already this morning. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for big number 1 Duval Ford. Just go check him out over at Cassett Avenue, and you'll probably be blown away by the unbeatable selection of F-150s, Super Duties, Broncos, you name it, they've got it. Transparent pricing, that'll blow you away as well. Fast trade appraisals, the biggest service department you've ever seen to get you in and out and rolling on the road as quickly as possible with over 90 service bays. Big number 1 Duval Ford in Jacksonville for over 110 years. Check them out online on DuvalFord.com or just swing by. Again, Cassett Avenue for big number 1 Duval Ford.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning.
Scheduling was easy, and the tech showed up right on time.
From plumbing and septic to air conditioning, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or online at duckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Jaguars Today Tuesday is serviced by Jolington Creek Pest Control.
I know you love sports, So why not take that passion and make a difference in your community as a volunteer coach with the YMCA? Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or flag football, the Y is always looking for positive role models to help kids grow in both skills and character. Even if you've got no coaching experience, that's fine. We'll provide the training. Step up, give back, and be the coach that makes a difference. To volunteer, visit your local Y or fcymca.org.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit cssfireplaces.com.
60 days from now, you'll be one of these two guys. The first guy, sluggish, foggy, and feeling like he just can't keep up like he used to. The second guy, driven, strong, and confident. Why? Male Excel's breakthrough microdosing protocol, a daily low-dose testosterone. You don't have to be the first guy anymore. Be the second guy. Take the same steps he took. Try MaleExcel.com. 100,000 men chose wisely. Your move.
Prosser here again for Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts you can trust. You might think you have a struggle ahead, but Chad and Sandy always have a solution, and ultimately it ends in a success story. Jacksonville area homes are selling, but getting the right price requires aggressive marketing and proven systems. Hiring the experts who know how to create demand is crucial. You need Chad and Sandy Newman. Need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers, fast, easy, stress-free. But, man, they deliver with the promises. The local real estate experts you can trust. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Oh, and the proof is out there. Tom and Nicole in Mandarin. I got a new job in Louisiana. We found a new home. Now we'd have to sell fast to avoid paying 2 mortgages. Chad and Sandy did it. Use them today. ChadAndSandy.com. That's ChadAndSandy.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Man, is it that time already? This flew by today with Jeff Lageman checking the tape. Dylan, get control of that intern in there.
I got you.
Whoever, according to the text line, they're not happy with that intern, quote, throwing down at Hilliard.
It was a joke, man.
I know. Look,
I don't think there's any avocado ice cream at Hilliard.
The funny, that's his true point. The funny thing is that they called you an intern, which that's the only reason I mentioned it. So that I got a little enjoyment out of that. Saw this release today. Josh Hines-Allen is going to announce a season-long pediatric cancer campaign today at Nemours Children's Health in honor of his son Wesley completing cancer treatment. So we applaud that. And
yeah, I believe it's called 4-1 for Hope.
4-1. Yep, 4-1 for Hope campaign. And you can go to 4-1 for all. There's a bunch of you can pledge at 414all.rallyup.com/pledge. That's a big URL to remember, though. But
yeah, pretty amazing story though about his son Wesley, and then the whole family dynamic of dealing with a child that has something like that. I mean, that's I give that family a lot of credit, and Josh is. I've always really loved Josh as a person, and to see what and how he handled this situation, pretty impressive.
All right, so let's talk about it. Whether it's Josh Hines-Allen in the edge rush room or anything else. What are you most confident in for this Jaguar team right now?
Well, I think the defense is going to be night and day different than last year. The first preseason game made me a little nervous, because they were having a hard time getting lined up. But with Campanelli, the way that the Green Bay Packers went about their defense, and I just thought that it was one of the best defenses in the league. And Campanelli, I think, can bring that mindset here to Jacksonville, and the guys all love him. Josh, was just singing his praises left and right over the last couple of weeks. So I think the defense will be vastly improved just from a a lineup, assignment, responsibility standpoint, which last year it was just an S show, to lack of a better term.
Stink show.
Think of anything else. But I think that's going to be fun to watch on the defensive side of the ball, and I think the physicality of the offense is going to be a big factor. I mean, look, how many times over the last couple of years have we seen the Jaguars offense fail in short yardage and goal line?
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I don't think they fail anymore. I think that's actually going to be a strong point for this football team going forward. And I think that's going to make the difference in a lot of game situations. And I think the head coach has got a little edge to him. And I think he's not afraid to do certain things. And the best part about him is that I like his commitment to being a physical team and running the football, because that's where you're going to get a lot of big plays. And it's totally perfect to have the running back room that they have for his mindset.
Quick thought on the defensive tackles, if you don't mind. Like a few weeks ago, we're like, man, what do we got? Then all of a sudden you trade for Austin Johnson. Looks like he's going to make the team. Trade for Colin Saunders. Looks like he's going to make the team. Armstead and Mason Smith both returned to health and practice. I mean, it's about what you could have hoped for, right, at this point in time?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you wish that Mason Smith had some more reps under his belt, being such a young player and really still an unproven player. Eric Armstead, veteran guy, has played a lot of snaps. I think more confidence in him being prepared than Mason.
John Shipley, and I've referenced this a few times, at Jaguar Report for SI, said, because he was down there in South Florida, thought Eric Armstead had the best practice as a Jaguar on Thursday against Miami.
Being in his Jaguar career?
Since he's been in Jacksonville.
I don't know if I would go that far, but he looked good, and so that's a real positive, I think, with Eric Armstead. And the timing of it is great because they need him. Hopefully that issue that he has is not going to pop back up again, because that's a position that they're very thin at. And Mason Smith has got to, the hard part about Mason's injury, I think a lower body injury, is that they're being very cautious about it. So you're not able to do a lot of things that you would normally do to prepare for the season. That's get reps, that's condition, do a lot of other things. So, he's got to continue to really work, but at the same kind of time, you've got to be careful that you don't overdo it and re-injure whatever it is that he had. But I like Mason. I think his personality, his work ethic, his tool bag that he has, I think there's a lot to like with Mason Smith.
Tyler Lacey, don't expect him. He's gone, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it.
Yeah, so I think we're pretty much circled around. With maybe one or two exceptions, we'll see. There could be a surprise ultimately.
That's a former fourth-round pick from a couple years ago.
A bunch of former fourth-round picks just going by the wayside. I mean, as Tony pointed out, the double dip of Javon Foster and Jordan Jefferson from just last year.
Still trying to figure out, last year, and I told you guys this when they kept 10 defensive tackles, I was like, I just don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Strong point.
I mean, and I remember asking Trent, I was like, help me understand the 10 defensive tackles. And he says, well, the big guys are a premium. And I was like, well, yeah, when they're good, and I thought that there was a couple good players, but not 10.
All right. Well, as we wrap up Check the Tape Tuesday, let's talk with one of your former teammates here coming up next.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Big Sirs. Leon, good morning. How are you?
Gentlemen?
We're excellent.
What's up, Logs?
What's up?
You good?
All right, I got a question for you.
Give it to me.
Okay, surprised about Fred Johnson?
I am. I thought he was coming along for a minute. Now, he struggled in camp. I saw him. The heat was getting to him a little bit, but I felt if we got him in some decent shape, conditioning-wise, he could be in the swing tackle. I was a little surprised.
I knew you liked his physicality. I mean, the dude, when he tries to go, when he blocks down on things, I mean, it's like it goes forever down.
Oh, it's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
He's wiping everybody out. Yeah. I was just a little concerned with his conditioning, but I think in that game, the Saints game, the first quarter, he got it done.
He had a good game, I thought.
He had a good game. I thought so, too.
So despite him not being here, Logs has said he thinks one of the things that could be a strength for the Jags this year, much improved, is short yardage offense. Is that something you agree with?
Yeah, you know what? I like what I've seen with the interior of the offensive line, because we thought that the interior was going to be the issue. The tackles have been more the issue in my assessment than the interior. But I think, short yardage wise, I think we're going to be fine.
All right. What's coming up today?
Jag cuts, moving day.
There you go. Big time. We got a bunch of them already leaking out. So,
did you ever have the Turk?
No, I never got cut.
No, you didn't?
No.
Well, I got the Turk. His name was Dave Wanstead, head coach of the Dolphins. He called me in.
Heard that yesterday. That was good.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was telling him because I thought he was going to show me a little sympathy because of my arm, because I tore my tricep or whatever. No, I came in the office and said, hey, Leon, listen, love you, but you need a spot. You got to go. I said,
thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
You skipped past the Turk and went right to the head.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Now, he's a you guy, too.
I know he was. That's why he did it so cold. It was incredible to me. I said, history.
Because I remember when the Cowboys first hired Jimmy, Jimmy was actually still the coach at the University of Miami when I was in the East-West All-Star Shrine Game. Well, then Jimmy gets hired soon after that All-Star game, and Dave Wanstead was the defensive coordinator, and Dave came down and worked me out when I was at UVA prior to the draft. And so I know Dave from way back when. I can't believe he turked you.
He turked me, bro.
By the way, Tony looked it up. The Turk is just like the Grim Reaper or what was the other word for it?
Barbarian.
The barbarian. So I'm guessing some Armenian person came up with the term. I'm just guessing, right? From way back in the day. Leon, have a great show. XL Primetime coming up here. Logs, what do we got from you for the rest of the week?
We got TV starting up this week.
Nice.
Jaguars All Access Thursday night. Strings, I believe, 7 o'clock. Me, Martineau, and a special guest, and Kai Stevens.
And no radio this Thursday.
No
right?
radio this Thursday. Taking the week off.
Be back next week. And
then, of course, next week, the Coach's Show with the coach.
Yes. The
which
debut.
We've had James Gladstone and Tony Baselli, which has been fantastic for the part of training camp. But now we're going to have Liam on throughout the season, so looking forward to that.
All right, well, you look forward to it as well. We'll see you coming out of that long Labor Day weekend, Log. So good health and all that. Until
and you guys
then,
have a great weekend.
Absolutely, brother. Appreciate it. For Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. We'll see who the Turk comes calling for, and we'll discuss the fallout tomorrow when John Ozier joins us in studio, where we will heckle him for being the last to accept his fantasy football invite, among other things. This has been Jaguars Today. Stick around. XL Primetime is next on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.